Krista, can you pronounce the last name for me? I don't want to butcher it, but
Duchesne.
Duchesne. All right, third place, Boston Marathon. I mean, how are you feeling right now?
I think it's safe to say that I'm still in shock. I'm absolutely, I don't know what to say. Like I've said in the media, it took me a long time to believe it. I had to see it in writing. So Dan, Eric's agent, I said, I'm sorry, like, can you show me the writing? And that's when I believed it.
Yeah. I mean, do you know, were people telling you on the course, like, where you were?
No idea. No idea. When Sarah and the other woman who finished fourth passed me with about 5K to go, I thought, okay, I've got more to give. I thought it was totally on my own. And I thought, well, maybe I could be top 10 if I stay with them and catch up. So I caught the one woman, and then Sarah was ahead. And then when we started seeing like the top in the world, you know, who were contending for first, it was just like a dream or a movie where you're like, what is happening? I can't believe this. But I just felt good. I trained smart. I trained not for speed, but for strength. And I'm from Canada, so I've run in this before, and I just kept just going the pace and keeping the rhythm that I had.
Yeah. So where were you? What was your halfway split? Like, what was your strategy for the first half? I guess.
Oh, I had no pacing strategy whatsoever. No.
Yeah.
I mean, my goal coming here before I knew the weather was to be between 2:30 and 2:40. I really threw away the watch, so to speak, this time because in the past with making standards for the Olympics and proof of fitness back in Canada, I felt like a slave to my watch in a way. And so I stopped looking at my watch, I don't even know at what point in the race, because, you know, you're just racing for place, and that's what I did.
Yeah, so what was, who's the first person who told you you finished third?
Well, this guy here, what's your name? Mark. He walked with me, and I just kept asking him, I'm like, what is going on? And I was in shock, and then I started to get cold and not feeling well, and he's like, I'm not really sure. Like, he didn't want to say for sure until he saw it and his phone wasn't working. So I felt bad that I didn't believe him, because he's like, you're third or fourth. I thought, oh, third would be pretty sweet instead of fourth.
Yeah.
I knew Desi was the only one that I didn't see and pass in the end, unless she had dropped out. But you don't believe it that you're going to be top three. You just think, I finished the race, and yeah.
So were you keeping track of people? You're like, oh, there's Shalane, there's Kiplagat, there are these people I'm passing.
That happened so quickly in the last, like, I don't know, couple of K, where all of a sudden, well, I know I passed Molly, and then I know someone said something about Shalane is straight ahead, and you don't run to beat these people. I came here to run my own race, so it's surreal, and you obviously you feel bad that it wasn't their day, but you take it because it's your day.
Yeah.
So then I saw Kiplagat, and my goal was at 25K when the hills start, that's when the race started. So back in Hamilton at the Around the Bay race, which is 30K, I had the same kind of mental strategy. So I held on, and the hills felt good, nice and rolling. Once again, Heartbreak Hill, I had no idea that was Heartbreak Hill. I just don't really pay attention to all those details.
Yeah.
Because when I did it 13 years ago, I didn't know it was Heartbreak Hill. So then, I just felt good and just kept plugging away and going by feel and working the way my body told me to.
Yeah, and who do you train with?
Dave Scott Thomas with Speed River in Guelph. Yeah, and I actually played hockey there, and I didn't run when I was in Guelph. So I've gone back to him just recently to Guelph.
So wait, you were playing hockey like in college, you mean? Or what did you
I played hockey at the University of Guelph, and then I got back into running just kind of for fun and fitness.
When was that?
Well, I'm 41, so quite a few years ago. I did my first marathon in Niagara Falls in 2002 in 3 hours and 28 minutes. So this was my 15th marathon.
Wow, for 3:28, and now you got third place in the Boston Marathon. Did you ever think that was possible in your wildest dreams to get this high?
Well, it is kind of one of those wild dreams, and then you're like, it's kind of fun to think about that and create these little stories in your head. And then when it actually happens, that's why you're in shock, and you're like, I mean, I'm still in shock, right? So. Yeah.
And did the conditions, do you feel like they just affected you less than other people, or were they still
definitely,
tough on you?
Yeah. There's no way I could keep up with those women. They're super fast. They're incredible athletes. I mean, my PB is 2:28, but it's obviously those conditions. Like, nothing seized up during the race. There's a few times I felt a little bit cold, but you know, that's being Canadian. You tough it out. I had 3 kids. I guess that helps too with kind of handling the pain. But with Dave, we definitely focus more on pushing in like the second half of longer workouts, so that helps too. But it was just one of those steady races from the beginning to end and going by how you feel. And then once I realized there were people to pass, then I went for it. I just kept going.
And when did you start working with Dave again, you said?
About a year and a half ago.
And who did you train with before that?
I was with Rick Mannon before that, and then before that, Nicole Stevenson.
Okay.
So it's just kind of been a progression over the years.
Right.
And yeah, it's kind of neat to be back in Guelph because that's where I went to university.
Sure. All right, well, congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you very much.